Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast.
Today we're looking at Rocket Lab. The big question is it a good time to buy now?
We want to hear from you. Subscribe, like, and comment to support the show. And if there's a specific company you want us to look into, leave it in the comments below.
So let's get into the analysis. When we look at Rocket Lab, we are essentially looking at, well, the future of space infrastructure, right? Not just a rocket launcher. The fundamental case is extremely compelling. I mean, they are really executing on a high-growth roadmap, and they've carved out significant technical leadership in a sector that is, only accelerating.
And the numbers really seem to back up that growth story. We've seen their revenue over the last 12 months, the TTM number, come in just over $500 million.
Yeah.
But what's really fascinating is the acceleration baked into the near-term guidance.
Exactly. Yeah, we're looking at projected revenue for the upcoming quarter, Q3 25. That suggests an incredible 45% growth year over year. That's massive.
It really is.
But, that growth does raise an immediate question for any cautious investor. That kind of massive spending must be coming at a cost, right?
It is, yeah. You're right. If we look at the financials, they are still reporting losses. The consensus estimate is they'll lose about 6 cents per share this upcoming quarter, and maybe around 10 cents for the full year 2025. So that means they're currently spending more per share than they're earning. It really underscores the risk until they, reach scale.
Right. But here's where the analysis gets interesting, I think. It's the quality of the losses. They are narrowing rapidly, actually. And more crucially, their gross margins. They're projected to jump significantly, hitting close to 40% this quarter, maybe even 41%.
Wow.
That kind of dramatic margin expansion tells you they are finally achieving the necessary efficiency from their scale. Things are starting to click.
And that margin expansion, it ties directly back to their competitive edge, doesn't it? Rocket Lab isn't just a company that builds small rockets like the Electron. That's important, but they are a vertically integrated space systems provider. So what does that actually mean for us, the investor?
Yeah, good question. It means they pretty much own the whole supply chain. They build the satellites, the components for the satellites, and then launch them using their own vehicles.
Okay.
This vertical integration, it's a massive moat, a real competitive advantage. It gives them unparalleled control over costs and, critically, control over launch timelines, which is something, pure launch competitors often struggle with.
Right. Delays and things.
Exactly. And this allows them to secure a strong roster of recurring government and commercial contracts, dependable revenue streams.
Okay, so the fundamental story is strong high growth, improving margins, definite competitive moat. Yeah. Now, let's maybe pivot to the technical side, because price action often reflects investor sentiment before the next earnings report drops. And the stock has been in a definitive bullish trend, consistently setting higher highs and higher lows.
It has been really robust, yeah. If we look at the recent trading data, the stock is currently trading around the mid-60s, $64, $65. And critically, it's trading significantly above its long-term average price points, the 50-day, the 200-day moving averages.
Okay.
The support seems to have solidified around the low $50, maybe $52 to $55. That's a key psychological and technical level.
Wait a minute, though. Trading in the mid-$60? That's a big jump from where the stock was trading earlier this year, right? Near the $34 mark, the 200-day average you mentioned. Isn't this just getting a bit ahead of itself, even with those strong moving averages? Doesn't that, raise concerns about short-term overheating?
That's a fair point, absolutely. And it's what every cautious investor should be asking right now. However, technical forecasts suggest this momentum is sustainable, at least for now. Analysts are projecting a trading range potentially reaching up to the mid-70s, say $58 to $74 through the end of the year, December 2025.
And the momentum indicators, they seem to confirm there's still potentially room to run. The 14-day relative strength index, the RSI, is sitting kind of in neutral territory, around 37. It's not considered overbought yet. Plus, we've seen pretty consistent accumulation. Buying interest in more than half of the recent trading sessions, 16 green days out of the last 30.
Yeah, and that bullish sentiment is mirrored across Wall Street, too. Analyst sentiment is strongly positive. We see almost universal buy ratings. I think it's 13 analysts currently rated to buy. And the price targets are quite aggressive, ranging from a median consensus maybe around $60, $65, all the way up to a high target of $83.
Wow.
So professionals clearly believe this run has legs.
Okay, this all sounds fantastic, but, we can't ignore the inherent risks, especially with the space sector. It's high reward, sure, but it's always high volatility.
Absolutely. Always. The 30-day volatility index alone is nearly 15%. That tells you something right there. But the single biggest financial risk, which we touched on earlier, is the profitability timeline. The company still carries a massive TTM net income loss, over $230 million. Minus $231 million, actually.
Right. That cash burn is really the elephant in the room, isn't it? They're still absorbing huge losses to fuel that 45% growth we talked about. And while they are expected to reach free cash flow break-even sometime in 2026, the risk remains until they actually hit that milestone. Can they sustain this burn rate? And maybe more importantly, does the market have the patience to wait for that 2026 inflection point?
And you also have to consider the execution risk. I mean, it's inherent in scaling a massive manufacturing operation and a launch schedule like theirs. They are competing against giants, too. Most notably SpaceX, which commands just massive resources. But this is where I think their technological lead and that vertical integration we discussed act as a strong defensive firewall. It makes them potentially less susceptible to delays and cost overruns than some of their peers.
Okay, so if the risk seems, let's say, manageable or at least understood, the critical focus shifts to what will move the stock in the immediate future. Let's look at catalysts. What's coming up in the next, say, 0 to 3 months?
Right. The immediate primary focus has got to be the next major earnings report that's coming up November 10th. Given the strong guidance we've already seen, any positive surprise on year-over-year sales growth, or even better, a further acceleration of that margin improvement we talked about, that could easily trigger a new technical run higher.
And beyond just the company's fundamentals, we also have scheduled institutional activity that often impacts price, right? We are entering the window for major ETF rebalancing. It's November 15th. And the institutional 13F filing period, December 10th, where big money often moves into high-growth leaders like this. Plus, you expect a steady drumbeat of new mission contracts and launch announcements just to keep the news cycle positive.
Definitely. But looking further out, maybe longer term, the biggest catalyst for Rocket Lab isn't really the Electron rocket anymore, it's the Neutron.
Ah, right, the bigger rocket.
Exactly. That planned expansion into medium and heavy lift rockets, which is expected to come online starting around 2026, maybe later. That dramatically increases their total addressable market. It positions them as a true peer to the largest launch companies out there.
Okay, so fundamentals, technicals, risks, catalysts. Now, finally, we need to talk about the fun part, maybe, the Withbur networks. If we look past the audited financials and the technical charts, this is where some of the short-term excitement starts. What juicy, unconfirmed chatter is maybe moving the short-term price around?
Well, the market speculation seems to be buzzing around a few key areas right now. We're hearing, again, unconfirmed rumors about an upcoming major government contract announcement, perhaps a substantial defense or NASA commitment. That would be big. There's also some chatter about a potential new international launch site that would further diversify their operations, reduce weather risk, things like that.
And the most, I guess, high-stakes rumor, and again, stressing unconfirmed, is the potential for Rocket Lab to become an acquisition target. For a much larger defense or aerospace conglomerate looking for that immediate vertical integration capability we talked about, buying instead of building.
Yeah, exactly. But we absolutely must stress these are rumors, just speculation circulating in forums and such. They drive short-term price movements, they create volatility for sure, but they should be treated with extreme caution until officially confirmed by the company.
Got it.
They are, however, sort of a necessary part of the conversation when discussing short-term momentum and why a stock might move erratically sometimes.
Okay. So pulling it all together then, what is our final investment thesis based on synthesizing all these sources, all these points?
Well, after looking at everything, we rate the overall investment case as strongly bullish, let's say a 9 out of 10. The rationale really rests on 3 key pillars. First, that accelerating revenue growth. Second, the confirmed technical momentum in the stock price. And third, multiple near-term catalysts, all sort of anchored by that really critical margin improvement story. That's the key to profitability.
So this makes it potentially attractive for both types of investors, right? It seems excellent for maybe short-term trading, allowing you to potentially leverage those upcoming earnings and institutional flows we mentioned. But fundamentally, it also looks like an attractive long-term ownership play. To capture the secular growth in the entire space systems market over years.
Exactly. So ultimately, the question for you, the listener, is whether Rocket Lab's established technological lead and that vertical integration, whether that justifies absorbing the short-term losses while they successfully execute this race toward that 2026 free cash flow goal. That's the calculation you need to make.